considered the living dead. Then there's the dead dead, which are different review-scape worlds. This is one that is straddling both for the moment. And part is going to go into the other, the ones where, yes, dead, meaning you're cut off from the natural flows and you will not be able to get the essential potential back, but you still keep going on, even if you don't lose your body immediately. But then it comes down to, if there's such a fine veil, what is this body anyway, right? If you have one of these in your review-scape after this one died, it's very strange. There's a quality of matter that is there and here, where that actually feels more alive than this, even the one my dad stuck in. It feels like a bit of a happier place, not terrific, but we're going to learn some of the answers to some of these questions through the structures they're going to show us about these planes. And we're going to open a window to the place that we're aiming for, which is the next stop. If you want to ascend off Earth, you got to get to median Earth, which is still a part of Earth, and it's much nicer there and a much higher frequency. And where that's the place that is hosting. First you have Earth here, net Earth, and then going up you have the part that is median Earth, that was the original Amente Earth before it got twisted into net Earth and phantom Earth. And then you have Ashale, then you have Shala, then you have Eartha. Right, that's the local ascension stack as far as the gates and how you get out. So they're going to start beginning to acclimate us first with the mental body healings that will control the epigenetic overlay, basically, which controls the DNA on the D2 level. So this is why we need to work with the mental body structures, because it directly, the structures that don't belong in the mental body not only mess us up and make us feel like we're running around in circles down here and can't remember anything as far as how to ascend and all that, and giving us an artificial, it's like a review-scape that's being generated through us that is not true, because it has there's certain elemental mutations that cause these calorines, actually cause these distortions of consciousness. Totally messes up the body flows. That's why we don't have physical control over the body in relation to even healing it, and why it dies. But we're going to open this window, and when we open that window, we are going to be clearing. Literally, if you think of the DNA and you pull it out and make it pull the chain out so you can see it like it's double helixes. There's a coating on that called the epigenetic sheath. It's a chemical coating that actually signals different things to the DNA. Science is just finding out about this and starting to realize it's important because it seems to control the operation of certain genes. So it's not just the genes alone that are creating whatever in the body. It's how they're being, it's almost like if the genes were a piano. The epigenetic overlay is like the fingers, right? And where you put them will depend on what they play. And the cal fields in the net are controlling the epigenetic overlay. And it's giving us false mind issues as well, as far as things that aren't really, that are not natural, and all sorts of addictions and things. All of the addictions, be it food, sex, drugs, alcohol, any of that. And I mean food like the need to eat, right? That would be considered an addiction caused by the mutation. People don't go around eating things or each other in the ascended worlds. They're breatharians. They have their systems turned on. They don't need to. So the word addiction is a broad spectrum in that regard. But there are certain things that addictions themselves are specifically and directly caused by these specific net fields that are blocking the natural, what are called Tiwa planes. And we're going to be working with the Tiwa planes to begin the process. Imagine if you had a natural crystal structure in your body, which you do all over the place, all sorts of levels, but let's say on the D3 level, you had your mental body. And just imagine you're in a big crystal bubble. It's a beautiful, not just solid crystal, but all little crystal points, like being inside of a geode. And then imagine there's this dirty slime of nasty crystals, like coal crystals, covering the beautiful clear crystals where the light can come in. And those things, they are literally structures that are hanging in our fields in atomic form that we need to clear. And what we're doing is poking a hole literally through that, wiping off some of the slime, and then cracking a hole up through to the natural part so we can bring the natural light in. That will trigger certain things in the epigenetic overlay, and that will begin to allow those frequencies, the natural frequencies from our hydroacoustic body, to start entering the body again through the DNA. And it will open the DNA, and that's what we work on when we start working with the body in the slide workshops. They all go in a set. We have first the mind one, then the body one, then integrating the spirit. Then there's another level of that in how they schedule the programs from now until 2012. But this is the first one that opens that window, and it's a window that will be in the epigenetic overlay that will allow for the body to be reached. And what the body needs to do is to be able to restart the process of hydrolase conversion. And we're going to find out more about that. First of all, what is that down here? What is hydrolase?